Alright, nowadays, people are way too plugged in. You either got a phone in your hand, or you got an iPad, or you got a laptop, a controller for a console, or a controller for a TV. We always have something in our hands, something connecting us to an electronic all the time. A little bit about myself. I grew up in this generation. I grew up with millennials. So I know just how bad it is. I know how bad it can be. I know how bad us young people spend on electronics, and I'm just as bad as any other millennial. Um, I'm one of the worst ones, actually. I spend a lot of time on electronics. And it affects our youth more, definitely. Nearly all children have some electronic. All kids these days have TVs in their room, and 95% of millennials have phones. And of those 95%, an average of 3.1 hours are spent on the phones a day. That's 90 hours a month. With television, 61% of obese males and 63% of obese females reported to watch 2 or more hours of TV a day. That is daily. That is crazy. That's 60 hours a month. Focusing too long on television can cause eye strain. It can cause eye strain where it causes sight impairment. It makes us lazy. We choose electronics instead of homework, or instead of going out and do housework. Because we're used to just giving up on stuff, and it's always, I'll do it in a minute, or I'll do it after this, or I'll do it after that, and we just put it off, and eventually it just never gets done. And that's because of procrastination. I mean, I've done this myself too many times to count with games. I'm always playing a game. I'll do it after this level, or I'll do it after that level, and I just put it off, and I put it off. And all or near all millennials anyway do this. We're all procrastinators. Electronics take a toll on our patience. With constant stimulation, we're used to that instant dopamine rush. We're used to always having that feel-good drug, always have something to stimulate us. And when that dopamine slows, we get bored fast, really, really fast. When it stops, it's like 10 seconds, feels like an hour. It turns us into homebodies. People would rather sit inside on electronics than go on a walk, get some nice sun, get that vitamin D. The majority of millennials spend most of their day inside. And that's crazy, with work and with staying at home, we're hardly outside. We can get health issues. Sitting and playing games or watching TV can contribute to obesity. It's rough on your cardiovascular system. Without that blood pumping, it can lead to blood clots. Blue light from TV and computers are bad for your eyes. It can lead to eye strain. It can lead to sight impairment. It can cause dopamine deficiency, with constant stimulation. When we don't have it, our brain's spinning, it can't make it as well as it does. And this, it can lead to addiction with us constantly stimulating ourselves, constantly having that dopamine rush, because dopamine is a drug and it can lead to addiction. And whether it's on your phone, laptop, TV, or a multitude of other electronics, we're all addicts. We're all on something at all times. We're on the web hours a day. Maybe the only time we're not is when we're sleeping, or when we're going to work, or going somewhere. We have a short attention span because of electronics. We bore of one thing, so we move to another. When something's not stimulating you enough, you move to another video, or you move to something else, and it just leads us to giving up on things easier. With that constant dopamine rush, you're just like, I'd rather do something that makes me feel good and it's easier. It makes us disconnected. We meet less people in today's world than ever before. People don't get out, and this leads to social anxiety or isolation. You put yourself in isolation because it's easier to sit inside on electronic and play games than it is to go out and meet somebody. And with electronics, and nowadays we have texting and driving. Everybody has a phone. Everybody's texts. And 9 people are killed daily, every day, from texting and driving. That's thousands of people a year. Over 2,000 people a year die from texting and driving. We get distracted. Electronics capture our attention. They almost put you in a trance. With laser point focus, you are focused on whatever has your attention. And this can lead to unintended children, children getting hurt, or them, breaking a bone, or worse. With electronics, we have cyberbullying, and it affects 1 in 4 children. 1 in 4 children will be cyberbullied in their life. And the offenders, usually, they get away. And they're going to remain anonymous because it's on the internet, they don't have to have a name to their face or anything. And this can cause withdrawal. Electronics can cause withdrawal, and you can have mood swings from not being on electronics, or this can lead to depression and anxiety if left away for a long time. If this is a severe case, and it can cause headaches and nausea. It can cause actual physical ailments because you're away from electronics. And that's bad. With mental health, it can cause OCD. We can get over-compulsion disorder from overuse of electronics. It suppresses our creativity. It's easier to watch something and not do anything, not focus on a craft. We get sensory overload. And we can do this in moderation. You can still play on, your game system, but go hang out with your friends. Go jogging, get some exercise. I'm not telling you to stop being on your phone, but you can get out, exercise, play a sport. Go play football or go play basketball down by the courts. You'd be there with your friends. So in conclusion, am I saying electronics are bad? Of course not. They can lead to bad things if too long. But that's why we need to take everything with moderation. Moderation is key. And moderation is the only way to go.